I just found a report that is telling us which is the best exchange, either from the point of view of decentralized exchanges and also on the other side from the point of view of centralized exchanges. We will dig into this report together in order to explore which are the metrics that this report is using, and on the other side, which are the best exchanges. As you will see, we'll talk about security, liquidity, hacks, and also which of them is offering the best experience. And in this case, you will also discover if the exchange that you are using right now, it is among this rank or not. What I want to know from you is which is your favorite one and what do you think about this report? I will also leave the link of this report into the description below so you can dig and go through it by yourself. Before to start, guys, let me say that this channel is about educational content and nothing has to be intended as financial advice. If you want to invest in anything, that's super fine, but always your research before doing anything. That's so important. Also, dig into this report. I'm just sharing with you. I'm not pretending to be the one that is telling you the only truth, but I want to give you a hint, a point of view to enhance your view on the market. And guys, don't forget to leave us a big thumbs up, drop a comment to the comment section below, and let's start. Okay, I want to start sharing with you the report that I have found. And before digging into, let me say one thing, guys. This report is just giving us a point of view. It doesn't mean that the exchanges that are listed here are the best one by far or they are the only ones that you should use. The reason why I'm sharing it with you is because I want to invite you to start thinking about. Don't just use any exchange blindly because an influencer suggested you to do that. I'm also suggesting you the exchanges that I'm liking, the one that I'm using. For example, as I said many times, I'm using Bybit, Bitget, and Rubidex. This is the exchanges that I'm using right now. But feel free to use whatever you want. What is important to you is be aware of why you are using something. You're using that exchange because you think that is secure. Did you check? Did you have dig into the matter? For example, this report is giving you different metrics to evaluate the security of a single exchange. Obviously, unfortunately, like what happened with FTX, the reality is that it is absolutely unpredictable what can happen into the future. So that's why I'm always suggesting, guys, diversify the exchanges that you are using. Don't use only one, even if you think that is the best one. It doesn't matter if it is Binance, Bybit, or whatever you are using. It's not that point. The point is diversify the risk, because if any of them is hacked or any of them is banned or whatever is failing due to any kind of problem, you are covered. Yes, you will encounter a loss, but on the other side, well, you will not lose everything. Plus, let me add also one thing. Don't use exchanges like your custodian. Take the custody of your cryptos, or if you want to give the custody to someone else, use a real custodian. Exchanges are there just to help you trade crypto. So if you need to trade it, and for example, I'm trading every day, well, I need to have the cryptos into the exchange. But if you don't need that, well, bring your cryptos, put them into the ledger or whatever you are using. Don't use the exchange as your custodian. Okay, now that we have understood that, we can start digging into the report. As you can see, this report is giving you a benchmark and using a grade from AA to F. And the top tier exchanges are the ones that are having at least BB as a level. What the grading is not, this is something that is pretty important. This grade does not connote overall superiority. Instead, it represents a means of ranking exchange according to risk. So what they are trying to do is evaluating the risk, even as we know it is a delicate matter. The same applies to DEXs, but let's start into the first thing because I think it's pretty interesting. So the first important thing that we have to be our knowledge when it comes to exchanges is the liquidity. Liquidity can be measured as the depth into the order book, but also on the other side also of the amount of volume. As you can see, what is interesting to notice is that starting from January 2021, we had a peak in May 2021, and after that, a steady but continuous decline into centralized exchanges. Yes, on the other side, the volume on decentralized exchanges has grown a little bit, but nothing compared to the 90% that we lost in terms of volume. Little bit better is when it comes to liquidity. In this case, into this chart, they are measuring the BTC liquidity. BTC liquidity into the exchange is an important factor for two reasons. First of all, it is giving you how that could be the liquidity into an exchange. On the other side, it's also a good way of showing you how much is the supply that is available to be traded. Lower is the supply that is available, well, higher is the probability to see an uptrend, because lower the supply, at the same level the demand, even better if the demand grows, means the price should, guys, in the medium term, medium long term, doesn't mean that today will grow, but it means that if this kind of trend keeps going on in this way, well, the possibility to see an uptrend into the price of Bitcoin, it is much higher. Another important metric is this one. It is counting flash crashes and the country count per license. So I want to start with the flash crashes. This is a metric that is really important, guys, because if an exchange is subjected to many flash crashes, well, it's pretty dangerous for you, because it means that you can be liquidated, even if in theory the level of liquidation, your price liquidation, wasn't reached. So pay attention and check this metric. As you can see, if we zoom in, CEXes.io, also Bitexbook and BitHub and so on, are the ones that suffer most flash crashes. On the other side, it's not only bad to have exchanges that are offering you that kind of back, let's call it this way, because on the other side, what you can do, knowing that these exchanges are subject to this kind of problem, what you can do is go there and put an order at an incredibly low price. Obviously, you have to check the history of the price in order to understand which is the kind of depth that that flash crash is reaching. I'm just giving you like a hint. So start to thinking in this way. Look at the positive way and look also the negative. Pay attention. I'm not suggesting to use this strategy to open a position. I'm just inviting you to think about. Why? Because this strategy has a bug. And the bug is that maybe you can open that position, but if you're using too much leverage in the moment when your order is touched, if the price goes even lower, well, the problem is that you can be liquidated even if you were buying at a pretty good price. So pay attention, because there is always a double side. If we check the country count per license, as you can see, United States are dominating the scene. But on the other side, we have also to recognize that Europe is growing, and overall, Europe has much more country per license compared to United States. It's like 88 for Europe, around 60 for United States, 87 if we count also Canada. Going on, because there are another couple of things that I want to show you before digging into the ranking itself, and is, as you can see, centralized exchange hacks. This is something that is really important, guys. This year, we had 77 million that were stolen from the different exchanges. You need to be aware of that. It's not something that you can simply say, oh, that's great, I'm just depositing my money and I'm safe. Yes, from one side we have seen FTX failing, but on the other side we are seeing also centralized exchanges that are being hacked. As we can see, we have CoinEx, Bitrue, and even HTX, that is the fusion between Poloniex plus Huobi. So this is something that is a reality, so pay attention to that. The report digs also into the KYC procedures, and it says that they are improving, that they are getting a little bit more strict, even if we can say that it's not like opening a bank account yet. I expect that in the next future, the rules in order to use a centralized exchanges will become much more strict. That's something you have to pay an account, be aware of that. Maybe we can talk also another day about how to KYC with an exchange, and which are, if there are, tricks that you can use. Yes, there is one, and I will talk about that into another video. Let me know if you want to know this trick into the comment section below. Okay, let's go about digging into the grading way of centralized exchanges. As you can see, they are taking account security, legal regulation, KYC, data provision, so it means if the data are available to be checked from a third party, asset quality and diversity, so how many assets are supported by that exchange, the team company, market quality, transparency, negative penalties, so if there is any problem, and we'll see also in this report, there is also a list on negative things that are counting as a penalty for the exchange. Plus, at the end of the story is the total points, that is just the sum of the different areas. Before digging more into the report and also going through the whole ranking for the spot trading, derivative trading, and also decentralized exchange, I want to stop a moment to talk about Rubidex, that is one of my sponsors. And this is a decentralized exchange. It's not included into report mainly because, as you can see also from this roadmap, it is a pretty new exchange. They are just starting right now. They don't have a token yet. If you are interested, check out here because there is an airdrop campaign. Their fees are equal to a centralized exchange like Bybit. It is 0.06%, so it is much lower from compared to what we have, for example, on GMX, that honestly speaking, great idea, simple user experience, but too much expensive. I rather prefer to go into exchanges like this one. They are supporting different chains, Arbitrum, Binance Smart Chain, ZK Sync, and many other. The main thing that is interesting by them is that they are supporting Forex. That is something that not many other exchanges are offering, plus an index for NFTs. And this is something that is pretty interesting because it gives you the ability to get exposure to the NFT market even without having to buy the NFTs. Plus, you have commodities. Another thing that is pretty interesting to know is that Rubidex allows you to trade with a cross leverage of 50x, so pretty high. No limits in terms of how much is the size of the position. Plus the ability, if you want to trade isolated for Bitcoin up to 100x and for Forex up to 1000x, so pretty high. Also, the NFT index is something that is available with a leverage, and the same applies for the commodities. As you can see from this list, you can also trade gold. If you want to know more about Rubidex, feel free to check my full review into right corner here. And if you want to start trading on Rubidex, you can simply sign up. And if you use also my link, you will get a 10% additional discount. Okay, let's go back to our report, and I want to start with the ranking for centralized spot exchanges. As you can see, the number one is Coinbase. Not so big surprise, to be fair. Coinbase is the leader in the United States. It is also the one that has done an IPO. It is the biggest one. Honestly speaking, the reason why I'm not a lover of Coinbase is mainly due to fees. And that's something that, for example, into this report is not taken in account. So the reason why I'm saying that is because take this report for what it is. It is a dig down in order to give you a better understanding of different areas. But it doesn't mean that a single exchange, it is absolutely the best one and you have to use Coinbase, for example, when it comes to spot, or OKX or Bybit when it comes to derivatives. It's not like that. It is just a starting point to make your own evaluation. And at the end of the story, it's something that's pretty personal, because also on the other side, we need to be aware that not all the exchanges are available in all the countries. So you need to take your choices based also on where you are located. As you can see, when it comes to spot exchange, there are seven different exchanges that are offering you a grade AA. And there are Coinbase, Bitstamp, Kraken, Bybit, Bullish. If you're wondering what is Bullish, it was a quite interesting experiment because at that time, there weren't so much exchanges that were using an order book on a blockchain. Bullish.com was one of the first. Honestly speaking, I haven't been following much the project. If you know something about bullish.com, feel free to share it in the comment section below. And so on. As you can see on the other side, Binance, even if it is the biggest one when it comes to volume, it is graded just with an A. That anyway, it is a great score, but it's not like an AA. Feel free to go through the whole list and also all the single valuation. Going to derivatives, it is pretty interesting because in this case, as you can see, the grade is not so high for many exchanges because we have just two exchanges that are having a AA, and they are OKX and Bybit. Only other two that are having an A that we are talking about Binance and Kraken, and other 5 that are about B and BB. And we are talking about Deribit, that is about options, Gate.io, Crypto.com, that is the application pretty famous, BitMEX, plus Bitget. When it comes to centralized derivatives, it looks that it's much more difficult to become an excellence from the point of view of the security. Let's give a look also to the ranking for DEXs. As you can see, in this case, they are putting together spot and also derivatives. So that's something that is not so correct in order to have a full overview. But the reason is mainly because when it comes to DEXs, well, we're still talking about something that is experimental. The offer is pretty limited, and we have still a lot of space to grow. As you can see, no surprise, the best one is Uniswap, followed by Curve, DYDX, GMX. After that, you have Balancer, PancakeSwap, Osmosis, and so on. What is interesting to notice is that Uniswap is the only one that is graded AA, followed by Curve that has an A. All the other ones are having a BB. And when it comes to derivatives, the only ones that are into the ranking so far are DYDX, GMX, plus Perpetual Protocol, that has been also the first protocol of starting the trend of Perpetual. But let me know, what do you think about the report, and most of all, which is your favorite exchange when it comes to centralized exchanges and decentralized exchanges? Let me know it, and let me know, in your opinion, what is the most important thing? Is getting rewards? Is getting more security? Is getting a platform that is the fastest one? Because as we will see in another video, according to what you are looking for, maybe an exchange could be better than the others. For example, I can tell you, there are platforms like Bitget that are offering you incentives that are something that has no equal into the industry, while platforms like Bybit are much more faster. Or on the other side, we have Binance that has the deepest liquidity. So it depends what you are looking for. There are always pros and cons. That's also the reason why I'm saying it's always better to diversify and use different exchanges. If you go through also this report, you will see that in this area, there are interesting metrics about market quality derivatives, different stats, the KYC policy, data provision, and for each category, you will find a deep down in order to understand what are the behaviors, typical behaviors into the industry. Anyway, guys, feel free to check it out into the description below using my link. And guys, let me know what is your favorite exchange. See you into the next video. Bye, guys.